United as one. That was the theme today as the Canadian government threw its support behind an official joint bid with Mexico and the U.S. to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup of Soccer.
We are one of the most diverse countries in the world. Our cities are diverse. Every team will be a home team. With that decision, the government will commit up to $5 million in order to support the development and the budgeting going forward.
If the bid is successful, Canada would get to host 10 of the tournament's 60 to 80 games. Those 10 games will be played in 4 different cities: Toronto, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Montreal. Good evening, I'm Adrian Gobriel. Lots of excitement at this morning's announcement, though it was pretty much short on any and all specifics. How much could the games cost here in Canada? Will there be any funding to grow the sport at the grassroots level? And what to do with BMO Field? The stadium here would host the games in Toronto, though it's small by FIFA World Cup standards. As it sits today, around 30,000 people can fit in for a TFC game, retrofitted with some temporary seats, and it just meets FIFA's minimum of 40,000 seats. According to Sportsnet soccer insider James Sharman, the stadium could see a permanent upgrade if we do, in fact, get the games.
They've spent over $100 million the last couple of years on that stadium, and the fans are still coming out, and they've got record season ticket requests for TFC. The game's growing in this market. It won't be an issue filling those seats, and in 8 years' time, who knows what TFC is, what they need themselves. 28, 30,000 might not be enough for them at that point. So to me, the timing is almost perfect.
We heard Mayor John Tory initially say Toronto should get between 4 to 5 games. Now it's 3 to 5 games. What do you realistically expect we see here in our city when it comes to the games?
Listen, there's only 10 games overall, and there's other good soccer markets in Canada. 5 would be a real stretch. I'm thinking probably 2 or 3.
One big unknown still is cost. Officials have pegged it at between $30 to $45 million, though that doesn't include security, and it likely doesn't even include infrastructure like transit upgrades. U of T's David Roberts looked at the social economic impacts of hosting the South Africa World Cup for his PhD and believes the actual cost could be 10 times more than the $45 million being floated, and that might only cover getting BMO up to snuff.
I think we are ready, but I don't know that we've had the conversations about what that actually means for the city. So I think we could do it, but I don't think that we could do it on the cheap or do it in a way that doesn't have both fiscal and social ramifications that are broader than this $30 to $45 million that they're talking about today.
What are the conversations we should be having?
We should be having about, do we want it? Does it make sense for us to host this game? What are the actual real expenses, including security costs and infrastructure investment, and what are the alternatives?
Today we heard federal members of parliament celebrate that soccer is the #1 sport for boys and girls from age 5 to 14. Though outside of the women's national team, the game has had serious issues developing talent. Both Sharman and Roberts believe any successful games has to come with major funding for the sport at the grassroots level.
One of the challenges that Toronto has faced historically about bidding for the Olympics has been that it's been about getting the Olympics rather than building amateur sport in and around the region.
Kids are playing soccer. We know that. It's been bragged about for generations now, how many kids play soccer. But what happens at the various age grades? Why do we lose so many kids at the top level? So if you can improve the coaching at the grassroots level, which comes with money, as simple as that, it can only be a good thing. So if you bring money into the system, that can only help the men's program, the women's program at all levels.
When it comes to any potential upgrades here at BMO Field, owners MLSE said they can't comment until FIFA announces who's actually won the bid. Now, Canada, Mexico, and the USA's joint bid is going up against Morocco, and we should expect to hear who wins in June.